Okay. Where's my other one at? Where's my other wax one? Another late night streamer just ended. Oh, my other late night streamer just glad my favorite one's starting to pick up where I left off. How's the night going? It is not bad at the moment. Oh! I was like, hold on, is this a new person? I don't think so. Maybe. Who knows? Hello. Hello, DK. I'm just gonna call you DK from here on. Welcome back if you have returned, or welcome to the stream, which is weird if you're new. Where's my other little wax piece that I want? This isn't the one that I need. Huh. I have to find it. Please not DK, please Johnsy. Gotcha. No problem. I'll try to get it memorized. Thank you for clarifying it. Let's see. You're the only person who calls me by the second part of their name. See, and see how I kind of do that with like everyone. It's like I just default not to the first one, but to the second part. I that's just the military portion of me that never went away. Is just just last name on everyone. That's why like when you call me Miller and everything like that, I don't react when I hear my first name, and when I realize that they're calling me by my first name, then I start to cringe and I'm like, ugh, hey, do the last one, not the first one. I need this other tool. There it is. There it is. Secret DT lore, you know it. Yeah, how have you been? I know I have been slacking, returning to streaming as I should be doing, and it's just, man, just tired. Yeah, it's just tired, and I'm busy trying to get all these other things done. I have the same name when people use I have the same thing when my people use my IRL name, and I want to be called John Z IRL. I feel ya. Kind of like in the DK aspect that you didn't like it, especially when I became, especially after I got into my gamer group of friends that I met at work. It was just like, oh, okay, well, everyone here has like a nickname that they go by, and I was like, you guys are gonna call me TK then. And I rolled with TK for a long time in that friend group. And when I try to introduce it to other people, they're like, oh, what does that mean? And I go and explain it to them, and they're like, oh, okay, that's kind of neat. But then, I won't say I abandoned it, but eventually I just kind of took on the role of just last name. And then that's how it's been for now, as far as anything. It's fair. Sometimes we get called crypt in real life, and it makes my eyes roll and then surprise every time. That's pretty cool. DK was just doing Jones and just taking, so DK was just like, oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, look at that. We have someone from way across the pond again. Usually I tend to have, because of course I'm streaming late at night, so it's probably about 8 o'clock for you right now or something, in the morning or so. But I have a few people from that 7:30, yeah. So yeah, I have a couple people that would join the stream from far over there in your guys' region, and so I'm kind of used to his like time frames and stuff. But cool. Neat way of identifying your of taking over your name. But right now, ooh, did I finally poke a hole through that? I did, didn't I? Oh, I'm close. I'm close to poking through it. Oh, I'm pretty sure, yeah, the stream elements. Oh, there is no, is it just not active? Do I need to do something to get it back? There's probably something, yeah, there's probably something that I'm doing on my side that I need to keep up with. You guys are funny. But yeah, ever since my little dock device. I got it to work again, but it's kind of fritzy on the way that it wants to work. So I'm like, I'll just wait and I'll buy another one on this upcoming check, and then I can kind of get back to what I usually do. But in the meantime, I'm just kind of working with wax and doing some weird stuff. Burning my freaking fingers. Feb 27, 2024, haven't fallen. Oh, okay. So then, yeah. So then there was a time. There's been a time that you popped in here, asked a question. I'm pretty sure there's something I can check on my side that would be able to check the chat logs and everything. But cool. But apart from that, it's been not too eventful on my side. Yeah, I recognize the name, but I couldn't place when. That's pretty cool. What I did end up coming up on was a couple good finds through Craigslist to get some more equipment. Minecraft stream, there it is. That's where it is. Shoot, when I ever do those little Minecraft streams, that's when stuff gets popular. Or that's when I start getting people jumping in. That's when all the eyeballs come over. Okay, so this is... Let me see if I can get some of this water out without disturbing the cast. But yeah, I've been making some deals on Craigslist and getting some more equipment that I need, and so that's been pretty cool. I've been saving a good amount of money by getting it secondhand like that, which is nice. Another fun thing, I think, what was it, the last time that I streamed, I was trying to melt some metal, and some of my other things that I needed were on the way, or I just needed to find them. And I finally got a couple torches. I got my other thing, my oxygen concentrator, so I can really get the metal really hot. And so now I can melt stuff. And that's good for another portion of doing the lab stuff, and then also making rings at leisure. So that's always fun. Also, I now realize that you definitely seemed like you were in the military, Miller. Now that you said, I completely see it. Were you in there for a long time? I don't know how old you are, so I really don't know. 34. So, old as heck, if to some people's standards and everything. But I was not in it for a very long time, but it was a small little time that I got to enjoy. And I probably wouldn't go back unless if I was going to be like a Navy dentist or something. If I became a dentist, I'd probably want to do it through the Navy, and I would just run it like that. But as an enlisted person, as a pretty much grunt-esque style, probably not looking into trying to head back there if I don't have to. Nah, I've been friends with almost 50 now. Don't worry about your age. I know, right? And it's always the fun thing, because I'm everywhere I've gone. It's always I'm the youngest of like my team. So it was like, oh, I go into the dental office and I'm freaking 19 or 20, and it's like, oh, he's the youngest person here. And it's like, oh, well, eventually that will be where I'm not, and there'll be another young person coming in. Nope, I go to another office. Youngest person there. Okay, well, I couldn't beat that one. Go to this next place. Oh, still the youngest person there. Okay, well, I'm gonna go work in prison. Nope, I'm still the youngest person there, and I'm like 28, I think, at that point. Nope, still youngest person in and out of my working team of dental in prison. So that doesn't work out. Go and I teach. youngest person at 27, and they're like, oh, don't worry, one day someone younger will come in. I've never been the second in line. It's always been youngest. Even at 34, on my team, I am the youngest. It's freaking, it never ends. Eventually, once I'm 50, someone will have to be younger than me. It's just too funny that it just ends up working out that way. You seem like you've done a lot in your time on this planet. I don't know. It's fun. It's a lot of crap that you just kind of like fall into, and it's like, oh, that's a pretty sweet situation. Let me just go and try that. Essentially, kind of like in the bad situation of like almost say yes to everything, even though I'm not like a risk taker like that, and follow that mantra. It's more just like, yeah, sure. It's almost like just following along someone's request, and it ends up just working out a little bit. There's very little adventure in it, but it's just like neat experiences. And then I always say it weird. It's like, oh, back when I was in prison, even though that sounds weird, and I really mean back when I worked in prison. So that's kind of always fun to be able to rewind back and be like, oh yeah, in a different way, prison in a different way. But you have tons of time to find that. You'll have tons of time to find your exciting stories. Trust me, there's not that many things exciting. It's like, oh yeah, you worked in prison, I bet you saw a lot of things. It's like, not really. It's like, it's actually quite boring. I actually left because it was super boring. And they're like, well, I mean, there must have been like neat people in there. I was like, yeah, there's this dude that told me a joke, and that joke was actually pretty funny. And it's kind of really it. I didn't have to smuggle anything. No one tried to take me hostage. I was working in prison. Would you give me a bedtime story? That answer. Like, I can tell you about like the experience of it. I can be there's neat times, right? There's like in the middle of summer at this one institution, and we're hitting triple digits, and it's an abnormal triple digit year. And when you go out to this one section that's for specific inmates that are a little bit more closer to getting out, at that place, at that separated from the main jail prison, that building, you could not control the air conditioning in the dental area. You really couldn't do it in the whole medical area. You couldn't control the air conditioning there. You had to go and call someone you had to call another institution that was about 80 miles away and tell them, hey, can you turn on this? And so that was annoying. And then one time the AC was just straight up just broken. So we're just me and Doc are just standing over a patient that we're working on, sweating because it's so damn hot in there, because everything's made out of freaking brick. So it's just being in an oven. Patient sweating, I'm sweating, Doc is sweating. I'm wiping the Doc's forehead so he doesn't sweat into the patient's mouth. And that was a fun time, but terrible. Terrible, but it worked out. It was fun. Okay, this is starting to firm up. I can imagine. It was muggy. It was muggy, and it sucks. Definitely sucks sometimes, but we made it work. We got those inmates' teeth pulled out, or a filling done on them, or a denture delivered, or whatever the hell that we were doing in there, and then we got the heck out. Oh, I guess there are a couple of neat stories from there. I'm a hairy dude, so I would have a heat stroke in that kind of situation. Oh man, it would just be sweating all over, I'm sure. Another actual interesting thing that happened, which I usually forget about, was one time we were going to throw away some garbage. And it was a specific garbage material that had to be thrown out in this really special area that was like super far at the edge of the prison. And usually to get to that area to go and throw this specific garbage material out, which was a freaking like metal cart. It was like a metal mesh cart that we had to throw away because it was broken and busted or whatever. So we go over there, we get to the gate, and then we wave down the guard, the tower guard that's there. Be like, hey, we gotta go throw this out. And they're like, okay, and they ping us open, and then we get to the next station where the next set of guards will look at the stuff and evaluate that, yeah, this is broken, this needs to be thrown out in a specific way, and then bam, we throw it out. Walk back, we wave back to the tower guard, and her head is down, just kind of like she's almost like resting or whatever, and didn't think anything of it. So we walk back, we go do the rest of our day, and it turns out that tower guard that was up there that we just waved down and she just pinged us into the area just 5 minutes ago ended up having a stroke. I don't know if it was a heat stroke, but I think they had a stroke, and they were fine after. But they had a stroke up there, and that was a pretty crazy thing to just be that close to that interaction with another person that's going through a medical emergency. And I was just like, oh damn, it can just take you like that. So that was one. That was interesting. What else? Sometimes when they would pepper spray the yard, or throw the little pepper spray grenade in the yard, because specifically this prison was a very open prison, and it was a very open prison, so anything that would happen on the yard as far as like peppering or any smell, if the wind would take it and drag it across the rest of the prison, everyone's going to smell it. So if they peppered the yard, and we're over there in dental, which is not too far away from the yard, and we had our windows open, we would smell, oh, something happened on the yard, so let's close that window, even though we're all going to be smelling this chemical for the rest of the day, and let's just get through it. Then another time they had a lockdown because a certain ethnic group was having issues with another ethnic group, and somewhere down the line there was messages that were exchanged that was saying, hey, at our facility you're going to this is going to happen. So all the specific cell blocks got locked down. They all got locked down, and anyone that needed dental during that time that came from that cell block, they had to be handcuffed. They had to have their handcuffs behind them the whole time when they went through their procedure. And it kind of sucks because, especially when it gets to the point when you're going to be sitting in our dental chair with your handcuffed hands right behind you as you sit on them, it's very uncomfortable. So there's some pain and gain through a lot of those. So pepper spray grenades exist. I never heard of that before. They would pepper the yard pretty often in the summer, but I think it's because it's triple digits. These fools are going outside. It's hot. They're already mad, and now they're even more mad because they have to be outside and everyone else is agitated. So in the summers, the activity on the yard would increase, and everyone would just be on alert, and it was just kind of a thing that they warned me about. They're like, oh yeah, in summers they can get crazier. It's like, crazier? The hell are you talking about? Crazier? Like, and they were like, yeah, you'll see. Like, sheesh. But how's work or school or whatever the hell you're into right now. How's everything else going on your side? Hopefully eventful in good ways or not eventful in good ways. Uneventful in good ways are a nice way to have it too. That's usually my best days. Gotta go. And get this out a little bit more while it's still setting. Everything's still going, yeah, okay, good. Chat's still going, camera's still going, music's still going. So everything's good for right now. I think I saw recently, like, one of the VTubers that I've been kind of watching a little bit of lately was gonna play Pizza Tower. And they had it on their little calendar list, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I think they were playing specifically the Noise DLC, or I don't know if that's a DLC, but they're doing specifically stuff with the Noise. And I was like, oh, look at that. That'll be fun to watch. I forgot when they're going to go live with that, but I'm not sure. It's fine. Right now, I'm still searching for a job. I think I'm going to try to apply a metalworking plant and that my friend works in since he gets paid very well. Oh, there you go. It's not hard work. Yeah, metalworking and everything. If you get into metalworking, welding, those people make really good money, especially if you have a good, especially if you got a good eye and hand at it. That can definitely be an awesome piece to do. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to get out, and I knew it was from the start, but I just wanted to see if I could try. So what I'm gonna do is let me get my maybe a round burr. Yeah, let's do a round burr. I'm gonna get a round burr, and I'm going to turn off my flame, go and ditch out a spot that I can leverage at. Well, hopefully it works out. So this, we're trying to get some sort of schedule together so I can move into the apartment by the end of the year. That'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, just like you've kind of just like you've been kind of alluding to. Small little goals are good. They definitely make it easier to digest all the other stuff that's happening in the world. There's so much going on. It's very overwhelming. Yeah. It's definitely not fun. What's up, Draco? Come on, Draco. I don't say it's not fun. It's definitely it's funner when you're on the other side and you can just look back at it. Like a lot of people say, like, you'll enjoy the struggle or enjoy the suck, as they say in the military. Embrace the suck, and it'll be something to look back on, reflect, tell other people that, oh, it's so much fun and everything. It's like, it's just usually something you have to get through. But metalworking sounds like a neat way to go. I definitely don't fit in with a lot of those metalworking people, or at least I don't have. Probably like that. Maybe not demeanor. I don't know. I'm very odd in the way. Like, I guess whenever I go and like go to a new place and everything. Everyone's trying to like get an idea on you. Like, okay, what's your hobbies? What do you do? And I'm like, I go to work, I come home, I got kids, and I play video games whenever I can. And they're like, oh, like what sports do you like? Who's your sports team? It's like, I don't watch anything. I don't watch football. I don't watch basketball, hockey, sand hockey. I don't know any of that, or any players, or barely any teams. And so they're like, oh, well, do you go out and do other things? I'm like, nope, just go to work, come home, handle my family, and video games. And I have chatters that I have people in chat that I have to go and report to every now and then. And they don't understand that. They don't understand. They're like, you must be like stressed. So you must like smoke or drink or something. Like, no, I'm too broke to do that too. So I really don't fit into a lot of people's little pegs or the little holes. It's just a job, not looking to get into his proper career, just a way to make ends meet. I like that. I like that. Right? Just in the meantime. No, a lot of people in that sort of career are boomers as hell there, according to my friend who works there in the plant. See, that's exactly what I would that's what exactly I usually encounter, right? Is like there's a bunch of boomers and they're going to be, it's odd to not, it's odd because I'm like, oh, I'm the new guy that just plays them video games on all the time, and he says that he's a streamer or whatever the heck they are. It's like, yeah, it's just not your guys' cup of tea. It's fine. It's fine. But back when I used to drive for, it was a very weird encounter. Back when I used to do Uber, when I used to drive for Uber and Lyft at the time, I think this was an Uber call that I got, and it was going and picking up this dude at the hotel that's in my town, and then taking him to his friend's house, and then taking them like 50 miles away to this other place. And when I went to pick up the first dude at the hotel, he was interesting. He had an interesting way of trying to figure me out. But after me talking to him for a good bit and kind of having a good conversation, he was like, you got good charisma. And me at that time did not know what the hell that was, what that meant. I knew it was a good thing because he said it in a good tone. But he said that you have good charisma about yourself. You can kind of make other people trust you without like needing to try, because it seems like you're not trying to get anything out of them. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what it is. I can appeal to people, or I don't know, however he wanted to phrase it. It's like, okay, well that's cool to know. I don't know how to use that. I don't know how to use that properly. So that's a cool thing to learn about. And as I've gone on, I've realized that I can kind of I play D&D. I know what charisma is, my dumbass, right? And that's the thing, is me being like an RPG type of person and going through all these things except D&D. I was like, I know what charisma is. I know what the charisma is, and I don't know if I can roll a charisma check right now, but still don't know what the fuck what you're designating me as having higher stats in charisma being. And I was like, okay, well, tell me about what this is, because I've never heard someone tell me this before, and it was a neat thing to hear. It was really encouraging to hear that. And I think even at the end of that day, because what I ended up doing was I went and took them like 50 miles away, and I was like, hey, you guys, if you want, because I know you guys are gonna probably go back to the area that I picked you all up from, I'll go and cruise around here, and do like other Uber drives and everything like that. And if by the time that you guys get out of this event that you're going to, if you want to give me a call, I can just drive you back and everything will be cool. So we ended up doing that. I gave them my number. They were like, hey, we're ready to go back. I'm like, cool, I'll go pick you up right now. And I went and picked them up. They were kind of drunk, I think, or something. But I ended up taking them back home. And these fools gave me like $200 as a tip. They were, a couple of them were very well off. There was like 3 of them. But we all had a good time. During that whole ride back, we were like, oh, let's go get something to eat. Here's this. Oh, here's some extra for doing us a solid and everything. I was like, oh, that's cool. That like $200 that I got from that super helped at that time, because it super helped at that time because there's a couple things going on, some bills that needed to be paid at that moment. So it was just something important just landed there for me, and I was happy about it, and it was pretty cool. So I got lucky. A lot of luck on that one. See if I can firmly grasp this. Damn. Okay. Yeah, it's a weird, I guess, natural thing that I have for some reason. But I know it's gonna get me in trouble one day. I'm sure of it. I know it's going to get me in trouble one day. Somehow there's a bad side to it. Exactly. Firmly grasp it. I need a different tool. Let me get a Howl plier. Howl plier will have a little bit more grip spots. I need it to be a little bit wider. Howl pliers, please, Howl pliers. Not even able to talk it out and have a high charisma. Yeah, that's right. You talked that out, right? That's why RPG, you gotta just get a first roll. Oh man, I remember the first time I tried playing Dungeons and Dragons was back at boot camp. There's a little group of them. There's a group of D&Ders over in this corner of the compartment, and I was like, I know what you guys are doing. I'm hip. I'm cool. Let me go in and just like see what you guys got going on. And then the dungeon master, the DM at the time, was cool. He was kind of letting me in on some of the secrets, or some of the story that he had planned for the rest of them. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna tell you like how to solve this riddle, and then you can kind of have a chuckle at like what they're trying to do to try to get it done. And so it was super cool. It was super cool seeing it and seeing the charts and be like, it was a neat instance. And so I was like, oh, that's cool. Then when I figured out that my brother started playing it with his friends, I was like, oh, that's cool. And he would 3D print out his models and get my sister to paint it and get it all styled and everything. I was like, oh, that's tight. But yeah, the nerdy ones at boot camp, they stand out all right. It's usually the ones that it's usually going to be the ones that, the nerds and everything. They're going to be the nukes. They're going to be the people that work on the nuclear reactors, or the ones that are going to do the IT, the information technology aspect, or the IS, which is information security. So you go and you hang around those guys, which they were just my type of tea, and definitely they did not leave the nerd shit at home, and it was fun. because it's like you have those guys over there doing that, and then like on the other side of the compartment, other corner of the compartment, you have other ones that are like stick poking each other, giving each other tattoos, and then over on the other side of the compartment, and this is all happening after lights out. So it's like 9 o'clock, and all the lights have gone out. The drill instructors, the RDCs, are gone, as far as everyone knows. And so everyone just kind of goes to their corners, and it's like, okay, we're going to do Fight Club over here. We're going to go and do D&D people over here. These people are giving each other tattoos over here, and the ones over here in this corner are praying. They're the ones that are getting their pray circles and going on over here. So that's like the religious, the fight clubs, or the arm wrestlers, or the just macho men, the nerds, D&D people, and then where the fuck I was saying that these guys were. I forgot. I classified them. What were you guys? D&D nerds, macho man, the religious people. These guys were something. I forgot what they were. I don't remember. But yeah, it was cool. It's absolutely, especially since a lot of these fools are just like fresh out of high school, and they're fresh out of high school and everything. Oh, and it was cool. Yeah, all different cliques, right? It was actually pretty cool because when I got back out and I went to teaching, and I went to teaching. And one of my students brought in her patient for, I think it was for polishing the teeth. And when that fool came in, and he sat down, and he kept staring at me, and I'm like, this guy just like, he might just be like at all that there's a male assistant or something. I don't know what the hell is going on in his head. But then when I come over to like, hey, how are you doing? You're gonna be so and so's patient. That's cool. I'm gonna look at your teeth before. I'll look at it after and get evaluated. And he's like, you don't remember me, do you? I'm like, and I noticed something about him. I was just like, you have something about yourself that's familiar to me, but I just can't place it. And he said, we were in the same compartment together. We were when you're in your compartment, it's just this big ass string of rooms that are usually sectioned off by these like magic walls, they called them. Just a wall that would just be pushed out, and it'll separate the rooms and everything into compartments. And in this specific compartment area, usually your division that you would be in is not going to be on its own. Usually you're going to have your division, as an example, like you would be 109 division is going to be on this side of the compartment, and that's going to be like 45 dudes. And then the other side of that same compartment is going to be division 110, and they are going to be like another 45-50 dudes. So there's like 96 bodies in this compartment that are all sleeping and co-interacting and everything. Well, I was in 109 and he was in 110, and he remembered me because if this was like the center of the room right here, my rack was right here, my bunk, my bed, and then his was like a little bit over here. And since we kind of had these positions and everything, we crossed each other a bunch of times. But we were all bald, freaking sick, not malnourished, bald, sick, and all these other things. So it was just, he remembered me, and I was like, oh. I was like, dude. And then we started catching up, and we started catching up about it. And I was like, oh, how'd that go? Where did you go to? And all this stuff. And we don't keep up. It was kind of just one of those, like, really just out of nowhere, just like, hey, it was good seeing you again, and everything, because essentially he was in my rival division that was housed with us, but he was just giving me the rundown. He's like, oh yeah, Freaking, we super liked your guys' drill instructors. We call them RDCs, Recruit Division Commanders. We liked your guys' drill instructors. Our drill instructors were kind of weird. They ended up like getting one of them like reassigned because they were doing something weird or commanding something in a weird way. And I was like, oh man, I knew something was happening. I was saying, oh, I knew something was happening there. But that tall dude that you guys had, that guy was pretty funny when he did certain things. And it was cool just being able to see another person from that time frame again. But yeah, we never exchanged anything or kept in touch. It's kind of just something that we just go over and then we just leave in the past. It's like, cool. Well, you have pretty nice polished teeth. You go and you have a good life and everything, man. And then until we cross each other again, I'll see you next time. But that was I think that's one of my only experiences where I've got to see another one of them outside, on the outside. Yeah, it was a pretty good one. Oh, even another cool one was one of my students actually went through the Navy and everything like that, but they didn't make it through, and they were telling me like, oh yeah, I got to this week of the 2 months that you're supposed to be there. I got to this week and everything, and this and that and that, so and that, and I was like, oh okay, I remember like this and that. So that was a cool instance to have them as a student with a little bit of similar experiences in history. Damn, this thing is going to be a pain in the booty. I knew it was going to be that. I should have did this in wax, but I need this to evaporate all of its water in here anyways, so that it can be normal. Oh, so it doesn't shrink. Yeah, I've been on this sucker for a bit. I was just hoping that it could come out a little bit easier, and it is what it is. It will come out. I will get this sucker fish out. I just need to dig deep enough to catch an undercut of this ring here, and then I can pry it out. I'm just being gentle enough to not just break it in half and have to start it all over again. So have you been getting world records, speed running, as they say, in your game of choice? Nah, I've been messing with it somehow. I finally reached 400 hours. Like, sheesh. Yeah, that's crazy. I guess you could probably be able to see that through Steam when it says active hours or whatever it says, huh? And right now I'm just trying to get through the pineapples levels piece by piece, but I'm gonna push it to 500 when I get a new playset, especially with more mods coming out. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be tight when you get your place. I remember getting my first apartment, and just like a lot of memes say, it's like, oh, like guys will like guys will have their room look just like this and be super content, and it's like a TV that's like perched on the ground leaning against the wall, like a either a mattress on the floor or an inflatable mattress, and like one little like ottoman or like a table that holds your food. And like, shoot, that's exactly like a lot of people's first apartments and everything. And I remember that time. That was fun. That was fun, just being super minimal, damn near having like nothing but like my all-in-one computer and my all-in-one computer. So I already had the screen and I had everything in there, so there was no need for anything else. An inflatable mattress that I slept on for like 8 months. A bunch of like my figurines from when I went to Anime Expo back in the day before that, and just going to work and coming home and playing League of Legends, and just blinking and the day's gone. Yeah, that's right. They have a lot of furniture materials, so it'll be immediately more level. That's good. I know, now I have too much stuff. And it's like, man, I really want to just like get everything out of this garage. One day I will. One day I'll be able to. I just need a garage sale of it. Various wall art is pretty cool. I like that. I used to have a lot of various wall art too that I couldn't put up at that time, because that first apartment I did have my girlfriend that I was with for like at 4 years at that point, so didn't really put up any of those ones. I did have like a little corner where I had like my various figures that I collected. A desk, a bed, nightstand, dresser, that kind of stuff. That is good. That is good. Shoot, throw some swag in there and get a RGB light that goes around the room, and you'll be living. You have those too? Good. My sister has one, and when we went over to her place, or when we went over to her place in her room, I was like, this is cool. My wife was like, this is cool. We need to get this for the kids. Of course, our mind goes straight to, this would be neat to have in the kids' room. And we haven't pulled the trigger on it, but we do have it in the Amazon cart for when that time does come. But that will be a cool thing to do. Even though the kids are like, what the hell's wrong with mom and dad? Why are they so interested in decorating our room? It's our room. We want unicorns and mermaids on the walls. So many types of RGB lights too. I love them. Yeah, they're really cool. They really are cool. I have a Bluetooth. It's an options line. Oh yeah, it's so much better. I have a Bluetooth light bulb from like 10 years ago almost, that I still have today. And what it actually works out really good for is I put it on a lamp that's in my kid's room, and I have it set so we have 2 lamps in there. One that's going to be like its main light that's still dim, and then that other light when it's time to like really go to bed, and it kind of acts as their night light, and it just really the LEDs are just really low. I have it turned down really low so it's not too bothering to the eyes or keeps them up, but still it scares the monsters away. And recently one of my I was like, oh, you want to see something cool, and I went and changed it to like this purple color and then red, and then went through the whole rainbow color gambit, and I was like, isn't that cool? And they're like, yeah, I want it to be this color. Man, they would be happy if I just put stars and planet. If I put glow-in-the-dark stars and planets on their ceiling. When I would turn my RGB lights on, it would turn to a very dim red. So comforting. Yeah, yep. That's these days though, I'm always in pitch black. Yeah, red lights are really, really neat. Back to Navy and everything like that. When usually when it's dark and everything, but people has to walk around. Usually the red lights would be on so you can see your surroundings, but it wouldn't be in a weird way where it would wake up anyone that is trying to sleep as much. So yeah, having the red lights on definitely does help. Oh yeah, definitely am. Absolutely. I'm just waiting for that small little micro movement to happen so I can get it to pop out. So I can just give it a little bit extra wiggle and then it'll just pop out. And I can move to my next step, which I probably won't get to because it is approaching midnight. Getting right to the bottom of that ledge though. This one? And this one or this one? This silicone ring that I got here. Oh no, it's good. No, it's nothing special really, right? It depends, because if it's this one that it's the silicone ring, quite literally, I just found it on the ground. I have a very treasure hunter-ish like eye where I'm just scanning and searching things, or I'm just scanning everything that I can just walk across. And I was like, hold on, that cylindrical item that's of the really dark color variety looks a little bit odd. It's not reflective. It's not reflective or anything, so it doesn't tell me that it's made of any type of metal. So I reckon that's a silicone ring. And damn well, I go over to it and it's like, oh yeah, look at that, it is a silicone ring. And I think I'm a size 9, but this is, I believe, a 10. Yeah, this is a 10. And I was like, well, maybe this goes on my finger, and it does. And I was like, this is cool. And it's just big enough to where it's a good size. I have a couple, I have a majority of my rings are just freaking silicone rings. They're awesome for the medical field and everything like that, because if you ding it or knock into it, or if it breaks, who cares? Just go buy another one or make another one or whatever you need to. This here is just like a cheapo tungsten ring that's like, I think it was like $30 or something like that. And this is, I think, an 8. I think this is a 9. I think this is a size 9. But I don't like the hard rings because I just don't like hard rings. Silicone rings have just always been my go-to, and they work out, and they don't intrude on like me putting on gloves or anything like that. So I think I have like 3 silicone rings. The only thing I don't like about them is that when you do use it and like wash your hands a bit or whatever, they smell. You gotta really wash your ring, your silicone rings a certain way so that you don't get that silicone moldy smell. that would hide anything underneath it, which is sucks to have to deal with sometimes. And so usually after I wash my hands, I'll go and get them dried, and I'll go and sniff my ring, and I'm like, oh, that's this needs to be cleaned a little bit more, especially that spot. But yeah, like I mentioned, this one, I found this one. I was just asking because I needed more rings. That's cool. The black and red metal ring's cool. I wanted some more different colors and styles. Yeah, I like that idea too. I have this one. I have like a Harry Potter Ravenclaw bluish, same silicone, blue gray design one, and I like that one. But the people that designed it definitely didn't make it to be like heavily washed and everything, so the color is drowned out on it. I have my original like silicone gray ring, which is somewhere. I think I put it in my treasury cabinet, and that was my first original one I got. And then there's like this little tungsten one, and I think that's all. Oh, and then of course I made my my tooth ring, which I ended up giving my tooth ring away to one of my students that asked me for it. They're like, oh, like, hey, I keep hearing that you made that tooth ring? And I'm like, yeah. Like, you want to try it on? And she was like, yeah. And she really liked the tooth ring. I had it as a set, the top teeth and bottom teeth. And she seemed like she really liked it. And I was like, do you want it? She's like, no way. I was like, yeah, you can have it. You can have it, and you're more than likely gonna be thanked by my wife, because my wife hates my tooth ring because it looks disgusting. It's that one that had the tongue on it and everything. And it was the one that had the tongue on it, and it was just a little grotesque one. And it was funny because for the rest of the day, the other students were like, you took Miller's wedding ring. And I was like, my wife will like that thing got taken away, so you don't worry about that. And I need to make another one anyways. I need to make one that I want to make another one because it's been a bit since I did that, so that'll be sometime in the future. If you'd make another two-style ring for yourself, I've kind of had a plan for it. What I wanted to do is, because usually when we are dealing with like, because I made it out of like denture teeth, of course, and when you go to and when I went to select those specific denture teeth, I had to get really small teeth to be able to fit all on my ring and everything, and I probably have enough small teeth to be able to do another one, but like as an example, I think this is a T8, so it's a fair, this might be a T8 or a T10. This is kind of a fairly wide central incisor front tooth right here, and I can probably only lay like 3 teeth across, and so it might look funny. So what I want to do is I want to make a custom set that's just the right size for this area. I want to make a custom sets of teeth so I can have the right size and have them biting down the correct way, because the last ones, they were more edge to edge. They were like, the teeth were biting together instead of one biting over the other like they kind of should be. And I wanted to fix it. I wanted to make a proper one, and so eventually that will come. But what I'd really like to do is be able to design it in like Blender and 3D 3D print it in. I would like to 3D print it in casting resin, so I can make another set. I should get on and make it. I potentially have an interview for another. I have potentially an interview for another place. I have potentially another interview for another dental position, and I would like to be able to have it for when I go over to do that interview, because it's kind of like a weirdo talking point. It's like, oh, he's so kooky in the way that he's specifically trying to do whatever. So that might be a thing that I can do over this weekend if I, along with some other things that I'm trying to do. Shoot, I am busy this weekend actually. Trying to make all these plans to make these Craigslist deals and get some stuff from people that have equipment that I want, and it is getting terribly busy. But it's not unmanageable. Here's some time for yourself now. Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping for too, is it's closer by. It doesn't pay as much as the other job, but it's closer by. I don't have to wake up at 5:30 in the morning to get ready to go into the traffic and head all the way an hour away to work. So my sleep schedule would be a little bit better as far as when I have to wake up, because when I go to sleep is just absolutely just terrible. We all know that. You're here for it, right? And overall, should be a good change. I've been looking forward to this change if this works out. So I'll just be Professor Dental Things and teach through my YouTube channel instead of it being my main job as it is currently. So I'll still have that teaching aspect and make videos as very sparsely as I do. If I get a plant job, I'll have to travel up highway to another town, which will take 30 minutes. So I'll definitely feel the struggle. Yeah, that's pretty much what kind of I was in. I was about 35 miles away was my place, so I was crossing through like 7 towns to get to this job. And man, just over the years, after doing it for almost 5 years now, and seeing how many people have gotten into accidents constantly and everything that comes with it, it's always just what I think of is, when is it going to be my turn? When is my time going to be up where I'm finally rear-ended, or no one catches me signaling because my car's so small or whatever. So I'd rather not now. I rather not. But in my younger years, right? Shoot, I used to drive like 86 miles one way to get to my job, and then 86 miles back. So I would do 160 miles a day, which was essentially about 2.5 to 3 hours in traffic if you caught a bad day. And I did that for like a whole year. And the money at that time wasn't really that great. It was pretty much a part-time position, and I was just like, I got to get my foot in the door by doing this. And getting my foot in the door by doing that super paid off, because that led to me doing my current job, and all the fun stuff and time that I've gotten to do was because of that 160 miles per day drive. I lost my car through that because it couldn't handle that towards the end, and a lot of cool things could end up coming from it. Oh yeah, definitely there'll be a stream that will have titled appropriately for the new position. or for me going on to my next little adventure. Yeah, it should be. It should be. It should be, and then even if it's just for a small little amount of time and I'm like, you know what? I did my time away from teaching and now I want to get back into teaching. I always have that teaching experience and that background to be able to just go and do it again if I really wanted to. Or even like what I always wanted to was start my own small little specific small little school for dental and try to do good that way. Whew, doggy. I didn't even have my music on the whole time that I've been doing this. Let me turn something on. Oh, that's a good song. Yeah, but that plant job should treat you right, though. You got this. You got this. Definitely, I hope I got this, but definitely, shoot, you got tons of potential. Hard for me to see it. Yeah, but no. Hopefully you'll have more people that can see it too. You got a good enough attitude good demeanor, a good patience for someone that's a complete noob at Minecraft, and it's probably very infuriating. So you keep that type of logic and reasoning and everything going and apply it wherever you go to, and even if you're not the best, they'll appreciate that you're willing to deal with the rest. I need to give this a break a little bit. Hold on, let me see if I can get this out this other way too. All right. Yeah, right? I've been doing it for an hour and 20 minutes now. I am gonna give this definitely a rest before I go and contract arthritis, something terrible over here. But I need to go and clear my welding lines and make sure that everything is safe in here. got all my gas lines bled. Oh, that's right. You were gonna do a lo-fi playlist. That's right. Oh, don't worry. I'm tired too. I'm probably gonna be calling it right now also. So we'll return to this another day, tomorrow. Who knows? We'll see how I am. See how I am tomorrow night, but it should be good. But in that effect, yeah, let's call it. I'll come back to this thing later, and we'll do some more cool things tomorrow, hopefully. Oh yeah, it was good seeing you guys again too. You have a good one. All right, good night.